Welcome, nerds, to the music news for the week. This is a chunk taken out of the much larger full-length show over on the main channel, youtube.com/generallynerdy. Here in the music section, we like to talk about recent releases, upcoming releases, as well as tour dates being announced, festivals being announced, just regular music-associated news and the whatnot. This week in news, this stuff happened. Starting things off in the music side of the entertainment world, the pop culture world, we don't have any corrections, we don't have anything like that, no follow-ups to necessarily deal with, but we do have plenty of new music to talk about, so let's do that, shall we? First up in new music, we got another new track from the Foo Fighters. This is a unique track. The name of the track is called The Teacher. It is coming from their forthcoming record. It's huge. It's huge. This is a 10-minute song from the Foo Fighters, which was a little bit unexpected, but it's great. I just kind of miss the days of the Foo Fighters when they were silly and just out to have a crazy amount of fun. I realize that this song, as it pertains to, you know, the Foo Fighters and where they are now in their musical journey, is a sign-off to Taylor Hawkins, and very explicitly so. But I still miss the days of just the Everlong video and the My Hero video and just them being goofy and having fun. Again, not to say this is a bad tune. I don't think the Foo Fighters can write bad music, and this is definitely a recommend. Though be aware you are in for a long haul because, as pre-mentioned, it's 10 minutes. So that brings us to Signs of the Swarm has a new track that just dropped, coming off of a new album that will be out July 28th. Tickets are available for pre-sale. Amongst the Low and the Empty is the name of the album. The name of the track is Tower of Torsos. Signs of the Swarm is very noteworthy because they are the band that gave Lorna Shore, their previous vocalist, CJ, before the CJ, got himself kicked out. Either way, Signs of the Swarm has been around for a minute. This is kind of state of things as far as deathcore goes. This is not exactly something that puts them above the rest of the pile of deathcore bands that are out there these days, but towards the top. I wouldn't say, again, they're not Lorna Shore, they're not a number of other bands I could probably list right here. Whitechapel, oh my god, Whitechapel. But this is still a standout track for sure. Definitely a recommend, go check out Tower of Torsos from Signs of the Swarm. Brings us into Johnny Booth. Johnny Booth has dropped a new track. This one is called Full Tilt. Johnny Booth, I miss the days of metalcore where most of the bands sounded like this. These guys are a little bit of a throwback in the genre, and I am here for it. This song specifically is a prime example of that. I'm talking very specifically about the style of vocals where we get the yelly kind of vocal with the scream vocal, and then you even get a little bit of a melodic vocal here. So yeah, I'm super stoked about this. Also, very impressed with the length of this song. Not every day do you see a quality metalcore song go over 4 minutes long. Actually, I believe this one even scrapes past 5 minutes. I'm not looking at the time right now, but yeah, very good, very solid, very reminiscent of better days in the metalcore genre. Absolutely 100% recommend this Johnny Booth track. It is just good all over. Then we're into a new track from Jasta, Jamie Jasta's side project that is not Hatebreed. This is a track called Assimilate Agenda. It features Steve Souza, aka Zetro, on vocals. Jasta, I just feel like Jamie Jasta is at his finest when he has Hatebreed as his backing band. When he is fronting the band that got him famous, that is where Jamie Jasta feels the most effective. Not to say this is a bad song necessarily, but it very much is to say that basically everything he's done with Hatebreed is better than this song. There's something always feels a little lacking in Jamie's side project stuff, and in Hatebreed it is full force. So minor recommend because, again, very solid track, but if you're expecting Hatebreed level production, you're not going to get it here. All right, so Code Orange is giving us new music, and I am all about new stuff from Code Orange. Last record kind of lost me a little bit, got a little butt rocky, didn't really dig that so much, but again, Code Orange, even when they're not at their best, they're still better than about 90% of other bands that are in similar genres, because what genre is Code Orange anymore? Dropped 2 new tracks. As I'm recording this, they are only available on Sirius XM because I looked. The name of the songs are Grooming My Replacement and The Game. This is kind of a return to form to the Forever album, which I'm totally here for, mixed with I can't remember the name of the record. It was the record that came out after Forever, where they got really heavy into the industrial and electronic kind of sounds. It's a fantastic meshing of those 2 iterations of the band, and I really hope this is the line that they stick with and they kind of steer clear of that butt rock stuff from the previous record. This is very exciting. Go check out the new Code Orange once it's available, because right now, unless you have Sirius XM, you don't get to listen. And this is not exactly new music, not exactly a new video, but a remaster video in celebration of the 20th anniversary of a record that makes me feel really old that it's 20 years old, and that is the Deftones' self-titled record. New video for Bloody Cape, or remastered video for Bloody Cape, so it is in high definition. It took me a second to remember this song, so I was like, this sounds familiar, and it's in 4:3 ratio, this video. I don't get, it's because remastered celebration, 20 years. Yeah, the name of the track is Bloody Cape. It's Deftones, this is the Deftones that I fell in love with. Deftones when they were heavy. Deftones when they were still experimental, but really had some angst to work out. This is Deftones at their finest. Go check out the new video for Bloody Cape. It's worth your time, just for no other reason than they have Chi on bass back then, and Chi Chang was a great addition to this band, and he is sorely, sorely missed in his passing. Next up is a band that I thought I remembered a little bit, and then I listened to this song and was kind of thrown off and went back and listened to a couple of their previous singles and remembered, oh yeah, that is not who I thought it was. Fever 333 has dropped a new track. It's called Swing, but the S is a $, if that helps. I mean, the video concept is really cool. I really thought I remembered liking this band a lot more, but again, when I went back and listened to other singles from previous records, maybe I'm misremembering. I'm confusing them with somebody else. I just don't remember who. Either way, solidly produced. Just not a fan of where their sound exists. It's not even where they're going with their sound. This is just the band as they are. A little bit heavier on the rappy kind of vocals in a like new metalcore kind of sound as far as the instrumental goes. And I don't know, just feels a little not my style. That's all I got. So as far as like production value and all that stuff goes, it seems to be really popular amongst the fan base. So if you're a fan of Fever 333, absolutely recommend this track. If you are not a fan of 333, but you're open to their stuff, I don't know that this is necessarily going to win you over to their side, but it's not something I'm going to turn off if I ever hear it on the radio, so I guess that's kind of a win. Final piece of new music for the episode is Hunt the Dinosaur, new track called Tinfoil Hat. This is where I imagine like the evolution of nu metal went, is kind of new deathcore. New core? I don't know where you're going to go with that, but Hunt the Dinosaur is I feel like they've gotten a lot more serious about their sound. If you listen to their older stuff, it's a lot more goofy in the delivery, always very technical, always very heavy. So that's not really been an issue, but I feel like they just got a little bit more serious in how they deliver their music. Still with a sense of humor. There is still, if you watch this video, definitely, and the name of the song even unto itself, Tinfoil Hat, kind of lends itself to comic relief, which is, I'm sure they would not be offended at this. So yeah, this is just a band that is starting to hit their stride and hit it very, very well. 100% recommend the new Hunt the Dinosaur track, Tinfoil Hat. Okay, so from there we have tours and festivals to talk about. New tours that have been announced over the course of the last week. we have an interesting one in here, and that is Danzig, but we'll get to that. First up, though, we have Chevelle and 3 Days Grace have announced a tour together. The supporting act will be Loathe. This is a co-headlining tour, though I believe if I'm reading the marketing correctly, 3 Days Grace will be the final band on the bill, and Chevelle will be on before them, but they're both going to have approximately the same length of a set, which is how co-headlining works. So support, it will be coming from the band Loathe. It is giving you fair warning, as I feel like, yeah. No, that's about it. That's about it. This is a Live Nation tour, just to give you your fair warning, because that might deter some people from going to see it because, you know, Ticketmaster, Live Nation situation as of late, not the greatest. But it starts in September, on September 8th in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, runs through October 14th in Boston, Massachusetts. Tickets are available as of June 2nd at 10 a.m. if you go to livenation.com, or if you go through Ticketmaster because they're the same company, you'll be able to find it there as well. From there, we have Danzig has announced that he is going on the last tour for a while. I'm not going to say a retirement tour. I'm not going to say that he's going to never going to tour again, because they very explicitly are not saying that, but they are saying it will be some time before Danzig hits the road again. This time he is taking with him Behemoth, Twin Temple, and Midnight. This tour starts August 25th in Las Vegas, Nevada, runs through September 17th in Chicago, Illinois. Tickets go on sale. There is a link. I did find a link, but it will not get you any tickets until June 1st. So probably by the time you're watching this, they will be live. You can go get tickets. I think it's like 10 or 12 dates. So he's not going to a lot of places. So if you have yet to see Glenn Danzig and you understand that he has a bit of a mouth on him, this very potentially could be his last tour. But yeah, his social media is making it very clear that he will not be touring for some time. Presumably, it's probably to work on new music, new art projects of some sort. He does like to do movies and so on and so forth. So yeah, very likely he'll be turning his attentions to other creative outlets, and we won't get any music from him for a while. So if you want tickets, go get tickets. Link in the description. That's what we got for tours. Let's move over to regular ass news. We've got some heavy hitters in regular ass news. We're going to start a little bit light though with All That Remains. The All That Remains record, Fall of Ideals from 2006, has just been certified gold. So congratulations to Phil Labonte and the boys in All That Remains. You guys are doing a good thing out there in the metal community. From that, we have Pantera in the same vein. Cowboys from Hell, their record from 1990, has just been certified double platinum. Yeah, that's pretty freaking huge. So while they are on tour with their almost reunion, this news comes as a welcome announcement, I guess is a way to put that. Yeah, super excited for Phil and Rex and the memory of Dimebag and Vinnie Paul. That's just incredible. Congratulations, boys. All right, so from there, from the old music, we have our big announcement in the music section. It would seem that none other than Mr. Tom Waits himself, as reported by one of his managers, is in writing mode. He is working on new musical material. He has not given us a new record since Bad As Me, which I believe came out in 2011. Somebody check me on that because I didn't write it down. But yeah, Bad As Me was the last record that he released, and it's been a long time since that came out. And he only toured a handful of times since that album dropped. So very potentially this could be the last outing from Tom Waits, as well, as he is getting a little long in the tooth, if you will. Yeah, but very excited to see what comes out of this. We will absolutely be keeping tabs on this. From there, we have another back from the dead kind of situation in music, and that is Shadows Fall. So they have been doing some reunion shows, and Brian Fair in an interview recently, in a number of interviews recently actually, has alluded to the fact that there might be new music. And then even more recently, I think it was with Blabbermouth specifically, might have been Metal Injection, I can't remember, but very, very specifically, Brian has said, yes, there are in fact new riffs being thrown around. They are playing with potentially putting out new material as shadows fall. Recent pictures from their recent gigs, Brian's dreads are just as wonderful as ever, and the licks are just as tasty as ever as well. So very excited to potentially be hearing new music from the band Shadows Fall. It's been a little while, boys. And then from there, speaking of new music, Cradle of Filth has announced that writers strike be damned, we write our own music, so we're gonna make a new record. Cradle of Filth just put out a new record not that long ago, are in the process of putting out a double live album with 2 new tracks on it. And then they're also going to be writing a brand new entire record, potentially not due out for another year plus, but very exciting for the heavy community. And then our final piece of news for music, regular ass news, is Architects, the band that kind of has redefined the current sound as far as metalcore and just kind of the general idea of modern metal. Architects, those guys have parted ways with their bass player, or guitar player rather, who has been playing, Josh Middleton, who has been playing guitar for the band since 2016, who also is in the band Sylosis, has officially left the band. It sounds like it is fairly amicable, though no official word from the Josh Middleton camp directly, but we did have Architects say, you know, look forward to hearing new Sylosis music in the very near future. So that's potentially where what the final straw was that just decided a split was necessary. And yeah, just sounds like potentially more music from both bands, and that's never a bad thing. So that's what we have for regular ass music. That leaves only this week's musical suggestion. And this week's musical suggestion is my favorite live Tom Waits record, Nighthawks at the Diner. Technically counts as his 4th album that he put out because it was new music, but it was recorded live in front of a number of audiences because it took place over the course of four different recording sessions at a live venue, and just a fantastic example of the character of Tom Waits and the beauty of the music that he puts out. Go check out Nighthawks at the Diner. That is your suggestion for the week. Once again, this is just the music section. There is a much longer show called The Week in Nerddom over on the main channel, youtube.com/generally nerdy. Go check out the entire show or just subscribe here and do all of the things. Appreciate your faces, nerds. Before we go though, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.